Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Good afternoon. In my wonderfully brain fog moment, I forgot to hit the live button. So I was talking to myself for about 15 minutes. Welcome to part one of Embarkation in Galveston for the Carnival Dream and the Carnival Breeze. welcome. Okay. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few things that you really need to know when you are cruising out of Galveston and getting on the Carnival Dream or the Carnival Breeze. My name is Anthony. I am known as Mr. Smiley Face, and I work Embarkation for the Dream and the Breeze. This is not a product placement video, but I do love this stuff. Straight out of Japan. Okay, so you have booked your cruise, and now you're going to be sailing out on the Carnival Breeze or the Carnival Dream, and you're going to get to see this wonderful human being right here. Okay, there's a few things. Hello, Randy. There's a few things that I believe that you really need to know. First and foremost, if you're going to be cruising out of Galveston and whether you're flying in or whether you're driving in, my suggestion is, if at all possible, come in the day before. Why? Here's why. If you are flying in, there's two ways to fly in to your cruise here in Galveston. One, you can fly into George Bush International Airport, which is about an hour and 10 to an hour and 15 minutes away from the cruise terminal. Or you can fly into Houston Hobby, which is about 50 minutes away. Okay, Houston Hobby is between Houston and the cruise terminal. Bush Intercontinental Airport is actually north. Like, it's Houston proper. It's north of Houston. Okay, north. No, I don't know exactly, but it's far. Okay, there's always traffic. You never know about the weather. If it's the warm months, like spring, summer, it's going to be a lot of traffic, okay? Because people are going to be driving down to the island. Hello, everybody. Hello. I will try to say hello to everybody when I see you pop in. Hey, there's my sister. She loves me. Hello, sister. Hello, David. Hello, Randy. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have enough time. Because the biggest thing about cruising out of Galveston is just get to the island. Make sure you get to Galveston with enough time to make it to the terminal before the doors lock. Because we lock the doors at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We won't let you in. Okay. Luggage stops being accepted by the porters at 1:30. So make sure that when you make sure that when you're cruising into Galveston, whether you're driving in, flying in, that you're allowing yourself enough time to be able to get to the terminal. Make sure you're factoring in that there may be traffic, there may be accidents, there may be weather. Make sure you give yourself enough time. Okay, I don't want you to miss your cruise because you got stuck in traffic or you hit some construction or whatever. When you're traveling to Galveston and you've booked your cruise, you're going to have one of these. Called a boarding pass. Okay? You print this out with your luggage tags. When you do your online check-in and you've completed your online check-in, you now have availability of your boarding pass and your luggage tags. Do I have an example of a luggage tag? See, this video I'm doing for you guys because I love y'all. And I want to make sure that you guys get onto your cruises and have a wonderful vacation. Because that's what we all want, right? We want to have a great time. Okay, I don't have an example of a luggage tag. So, once you do your online check-in, you're going to pick this time right here. You're going to pick your arrive at terminal time. Okay, just like it says, This is the window that you're supposed to arrive at the terminal. Now, this is if you're not priority, okay? Because priority guests, diamond, platinum, suites, faster to the fun, on the Dream and the Breeze, generally speaking, there are some exceptions. Generally speaking, you can arrive outside of your arrival time because you're priority. Now, there are exceptions, like on the Dream, there are cruises where there are a high number of platinum and diamond and suite guests. When that happens, you will be asked to adhere to your arrival time. If you're cruising out on the Breeze, 99% of the time you ain't got to worry about that. Okay, if you're priority, go right inside. Okay, you can arrive at the terminal outside your arrival time. If you are not priority, and like my mother on this boarding pass, she is not. See, it says right here, gold. The arrival time, 12 to 12:30, and then this is our boarding group, Echo 6. So after priority is boarded, guess who we board? Everybody else. And we do it by letter and number, okay? So whatever, we start with A and go A 1 through 8, B 1 through 8, C 1 through 8. You get it, right? All the way through to G, okay? So if you've got a G, go ahead, grab a seat, hang out, get on Twitter or whatever it is you do on your phone and do some of that until we call your letter and number. Before you even get upstairs, though, you're going to come in the terminal. You're going to need to have this in your hand, and you're going to need to have your documentation. So let's just say that this is my birth certificate. It's not. It's a gift certificate. Say this is my birth certificate. Okay. And I have my ID, right? Birth certificate, ID. That's two ways that U.S. citizens can board a cruise here in the United States or here in Galveston, because that's what we're talking about, right? So if you are one of those who happens to have a passport, yay. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. But for all you passport travelers, what I want you to do while you're watching this video, I want you to go find your birth certificate, and I want you to email yourself a copy of that birth certificate and put it in a folder. Every email platform has a folder capability. Put it in your folder. So that way, if you leave your passport in your vehicle, like we had someone do, I believe it was yesterday, you don't have to worry about going back to your car or making sure you make it back into the terminal on time. You can just open up your email address or your email folder, email it to the proper people at the terminal when they tell you to. They'll print it out. Bada bing, bada boom. You got your birth certificate now. You got your ID. You're getting on the ship, right? Happy day. Now, birth certificates. If your birth certificate has the cute little footprints on it, leave it at home because we don't accept those. Okay? It's got to be a birth certificate that's issued by the government. Usually the city, the county, or the state Department of Vital Statistics. It cannot be issued by a hospital because those have the footprints. Okay? We don't accept those anymore. Does it have to be certified copy, Anthony? No, it doesn't. You can take your birth certificate, put it into the printer, and make a copy. Burn off a few copies, and then leave your original at home. Okay? And don't forget to email yourself a copy. Yes, even if you're traveling with a birth certificate and an ID, email yourself a copy of your birth certificate. Okay? That proves your citizenship. Make sure you carry that. Now, this is for U.S. citizens. We'll get into the other categories of guests in another video. We're working on U.S. citizens right now. Okay? Once you've got your documentation, make sure that it's not in your checked luggage that you dropped off with the porter. Yes, it happens every single weekend. Okay? Now we are going to start asking you while you're in line outside of the terminal, please put your documentation in your hand. That's how often it happens. We're changing policy now. And we were just told this morning. The people that work outside, the agents that work outside, are now going to ask you to take out your documentation and hold it in your hand. So you're going to take out your travel docs and your boarding pass, and you're going to have them in your hand outside before you even come in the terminal. It makes the process a whole lot faster. I know it's going to take some, getting used to. But not only is it going to make it faster, but it also helps you to ensure, hey, what's going on, Mr. Warm Strong Adventures? It's also going to ensure that you have your documentation. See how that works? Because if you get into the terminal and you don't have your documentation, now you're going to have to go to another department, and we're going to have to try to figure out a way to get you onto the cruise ship and satisfy Customs and Border Patrol's document requirements, right? Okay. So, passport travelers, birth certificate travelers, make sure you email yourself a copy of your birth certificate. Trust me. Put it in a folder marked important cruise documents. We will not accept a copy of your passport. That is a federal document. We will not accept a copy of that. Okay, so make sure you have your actual passport or your passport card to get onto a cruise ship. I know there's going to be people probably in the comments later that are going to be like, oh my God, you can't catch an airline flight with a passport card. Yeah, well, you're not getting on an airline flight. You're getting on a cruise ship. And for cruising purposes, we will accept a passport card or the passport book. And remember, don't bring the cute little birth certificate from the hospital with the footprints on it, right? We're not doing that because we don't accept that, okay? So you've got your documents. You're at the terminal. You've dropped your bags off to the porter, right? You arrived in the window that you chose online, right? Because you're not priority, right? You're just a regular guest like me. And you're standing in line because you've arrived on time within that 30-minute window. You've got your boarding pass, your birth certificate, and your government-issued ID in your hand because you're 16 or older, and that's what's required. For those of you who have kids, if they're 16 or older, they're required to have a birth certificate and an ID, government-issued ID. Or a passport. For children that are 15 and younger, all they require is a passport. I'm sorry, a birth certificate. All they require is a birth certificate if they are 15 and younger, or a passport. Okay? So now you've got your documentation. You're ready to go. You're excited to get on your cruise. You walk into the terminal, and now you're in a line, right? Okay, but it's not that bad. Trust me. You're going to be okay. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. You're on vacation. And you made it to the terminal in time. So nothing else matters, right? Okay. So you're going to go through a queue. You're going to be placed into a line. And you're going to go where they're going to ask you for all your documentation. They're going to get you checked in, physically checked in. And then you're going to go through security. Let me tell you, do not be bringing any prohibited items into the terminal and thinking that you're going to get it through security. There are a lot of prohibited items. You can find the full list on carnival.com, FAQ prohibited items. Okay? No, you cannot bring a curling iron. No, you cannot bring you can bring a curling iron. You can't bring an iron, a clothes iron, or a clothes steamer. You cannot bring either of those items. Okay? You can't bring any drugs. Well, I got a prescription that was written to me by a doctor, and I live in Oklahoma where it's legal. you're sailing out of Texas, and it's not legal. And Carnival's policy follows federal law, and it is still illegal. It may have been decriminalized in your state, but it's still illegal on a federal level. You cannot introduce drugs into a federal facility. Every cruise terminal in the United States is a federal facility. Why, Anthony? Because it's a port of entry into the United States. So it is a federal facility, which is overseen by Customs and Border Patrol and Homeland Security. Okay? So don't be one of those that have to go to the naughty room because you decided to try and bring your green leafy substance or your CBD. CBD is the same. You cannot bring that, okay? I have massive back pain, and I bring a bunch of ibuprofen because you can't bring CBD, and you can't bring THC, you can't bring magic mushrooms, you can't bring any of the white powdery stuff, you can't bring none of that stuff with you, okay? And by the way, for all of you who partake in the THC and you live in green states, here in the state of Texas, if you bring a concentrated form of THC into this state, that is now a felony, not a misdemeanor. Okay, so don't get yourself in trouble. Leave it at home. You're going to find people that are going to tell you all kinds of things on these Facebook groups about how they were able to do this or they were able to do that. Wonderful for them. Okay, you don't know if they cruised last weekend or 5 years ago. Not to mention the fact that if you get sent to the naughty room and now you don't get to cruise, those people are not going to pay you the lost money for your cruise. Okay? So, prohibited items, don't bring them. Now you've gotten through security, right? They've checked your bags. They checked your wine bottle. They will. Don't be trying to be slick. You've packed everything back up. You're getting ready to walk down a long hallway, and you're going to be asked to hold your bags at your side as you walk past the drug dog. Don't bring anything, okay? Because everybody passes by the drug dog. Once you get past the drug dog and you've already checked in, wonderful. What's the next step, Anthony? Well, that depends. Are you using a debit credit card that you've already set up online? Wonderful. You're going to go right up the escalator to the waiting area to get ready to board the ship. If you want to open up a cash account, this is important. This is important. If you want to open up a cash account, right? You don't want to use your debit card. You don't want to put a credit card on file. You want to regulate your spending, which I should probably do, but I never do. And you want to open up a cash account. Well, once you've passed this drug dog and you're walking down the long hallway, you're going to run into some other agents that are going to be directing traffic. When you see that agent, you tell them, hey, I want to open up a cash account. And they're going to direct you to another counter, not up the escalator, to another counter. And then those agents at the desk are actually going to take your cash, add it to your account, and then give you a receipt for the cash. Okay? A lot of people say, oh no, just go to guest services on board. Leave those people alone. You can do it right there in the terminal. It literally takes about 5 minutes, if less than that, okay, if that much. Let's say you forget, right? You're trying to keep track of the kids. You're trying to make sure that everybody's got their boarding passes. You're getting everybody's passports or birth certificates back, right? And you forget, and you go up the escalator, and you get into the waiting area. Now we've started boarding, and they've called your boarding group, and you're getting onto the ship. And you're like, oh, well, that's right. I can just go to guest services. Don't do that. What you can do to make it easier on yourself is you can wait till you go to your cabin, whenever that is, either at 1:30 when all cabins are available, or if you're priority, you can go and drop your bags off. Your cards may be in your mailbox. Grab your sell and sign card. go to the self-serve kiosk on deck 5 or deck 3, which is, you want to know a funny thing? There's a self-serve kiosk right outside of guest services, right directly across the walkway by guest services. There will be 40 people in line at guest services and nobody standing at that self-service kiosk. I know, because I've gone myself to add a credit card. Don't ask why. So, you forget to add the cash to your account in the terminal. No problem. Go grab yourself a Guy's Burger, use your boarding pass to go get you your drink. Oh, you can't because you don't have anything on your account because you were wanting to open up a cash account. So go to Guy's Burger, hang out for a little bit. Whenever you can go get your sell and sign card, go get your sell and sign card. Then you're going to go to the kiosk. And there's actually a video. I did a live video. I'll have to upload that. Take your sell and sign card and go stick it into the kiosk. And it's going to have, actually, you don't even have to do that anymore. You're going to have a portfolio number on your sell and sign card. And you can enter it in. Then you're going to set a PIN. And then it's going to open up the screen. And you can click on account management. Write that down. And then it's going to show you whether you want to add a credit card or whether you want to add cash or gift card, which is this, which I bought on AARP. No, this one I bought at Kroger. And you can do everything right there at that kiosk. You can put cash. You can feed the cash into the machine. $5 at a time, $20 at a time, $100, whatever. You can feed the money into the machine. It's going to add it to your account immediately. You can add another credit card. You can change cards. You can take your Carnival gift card either in email form or in hard form. And it's going to ask you for the card number, and then it's going to ask you for the PIN, which is underneath my finger. You don't get to see it. So you'll need to know those. So if you got it in the email, make sure that you screenshotted that or something, okay? But you can do it right there at the self-serve kiosk on deck 3 or deck 5 right outside of the fun shop. You don't have to go stand in that line and get services. You don't. All right? So now that covers documentation, right? We covered luggage drop-off. You can drop off luggage starting at 9 a.m. and they stop taking luggage at 1:30. And you're like, well, Anthony, what terminal are we in? Well, that's a good question. This is an embarkation video, right? Okay. This will be the last thing I cover because I don't want these things to be too long because then everybody signs off and they don't want to watch it, okay? But you will be able to share this video also. Luggage is accepted from 9 to 1:30, right? I forgot what I just said. Am I getting old? Okay. So how do you get to the terminal? What terminal are we leaving out of? If you're leaving on the Dream or the Breeze on a Saturday, you will be leaving out of Terminal 2 or Terminal 28, as it is referred to now. If you Google Port of Galveston Cruise Terminal, you're going to see a picture of 2 terminals, right? You're going to be looking at it. The terminal on the right-hand side, as you're looking at the map, is Terminal 25 or Terminal 21. On a Saturday, that's the Jubilee. You won't be able to miss it. It's like the biggest thing in the port. Okay, it's a big, huge white ship. It says Jubilee on the side. That's not your ship. So when you come into the parking area, when you come into the gates, you're going to take an immediate left. You'll see the signs. It says Breeze, Dream to the left, Jubilee to the right. You'll take a left once you come inside the fence area, and you'll come around. There'll be security guards out there directing you. You'll see the other terminal, and you'll see the ship, your ship. So you'll head there, and right as you're approaching that terminal, you'll see the luggage drop-off sign. That is where you drop off your luggage. You'll see the guys wearing Hawaiian shirts with luggage carts. Those are the porters. They do not work for Carnival. They work for the Port of Galveston. Drop your luggage off with them. Make sure you are nice enough to take care of them and give them a little tippy tip, okay? I generally tip $5 per bag because I'm not a light packer, okay? And I want to make sure that they get my bags on the ship and they're being, I'm being nice to them because they're lifting my heavy bags because I don't pack light, okay? Now, once you have done all of that, okay, because here's my suggestion. Drop your luggage and drop your people. But don't give your carry-on bag to your people. Don't do it. Why, Anthony? Because it has your documentation in it, right? Because you had a backpack or a bag or purse or whatever. But if you are leaving your people and you're leaving the terminal to go park your car, to get on a shuttle bus and come back, or to go park in the garage and then walk back, keep your documentation on you. On you. Okay? Because you never know. Okay? I am a just in case kind of guy. So keep your documentation on you. You get in your car, right? You kiss the wife or you kiss your husband goodbye or whatever, hug the kids, but I'll be right back, stay here, do what your mommy or daddy says. You know the deal. You jump in the car, you go park the car, you jump on the shuttle, all you've got your carry-on. Not 15 bags because you're traveling with 4 other people, right? You got just your carry-on. You jump onto the shuttle, you come back, your family or your travel people are there, and now you go and you get into the line because it is now 12:15, and you picked 12 to 12:30 as an arrival time because you're not priority. And you get in line, and then you start your process as you go through the terminal, right? Because remember, I think that was when I was talking to myself. If you are priority, diamond, platinum, if you're staying in a suite or you bought faster to the fun and you're selling out, generally speaking, if you're selling out on the Breeze or the Dream and you are priority, you are a diamond guest, or you are platinum, or you are in a suite, or you have bought faster to the fun, you can arrive outside your arrival time and walk into the terminal. If you are not any of those priority guests, you have to abide by your arrival time. It makes it easier for everybody, not just you, okay? A priority guest, they can arrive outside their arrival time and they can go right in because it's a separate entrance, separate line for priority guests, okay? So we've covered that, right? We've covered driving down here, get here early if you can. I know not everybody can. We covered how to get to the terminal. If you're taking an Uber or a Lyft or a ride share or one of the many shuttles or private hire vehicles to the terminal, they all know where you're going. Trust me. They all know. You don't have to go on the social media and ask somebody, hey, can you give me directions or an address for the terminal because I need to give it to the Uber driver. They know where you're going. Just tell them you're going to go on whatever ship it is you're going on. Okay? Oh, hold on. The one exception to priority guests arriving outside their arrival time. If you are cruising on the Carnival Dream, and it is a cruise like a 14-day cruise, a Journeys cruise, or a cruise that's going to have a lot of priority guests, you will more than likely be asked to arrive at the time that you picked. Okay? Because when we have a ship sailing with a ton of priority guests, it is almost impossible and borderline chaotic to try to get all of those priority people onto the ship in a priority manner, right? The Dream. As an example, the Dream and the Breeze, we typically only have about 10% of total passenger count as priority. The Jubilee in the other terminal is still operating, I believe, 30 to 40% priority passengers. That's a lot of people. It holds 65 to 67, 6,800 guests. That's a lot of people. The Dream and the Breeze, not so much, except when the Dream does a 14-day cruise, then it is mostly priority people. At that time, that is one of the exceptions where the Dream will enforce arrival times for priority guests. The Breeze, 99% of the time, priority guests can arrive outside of their arrival time. Unless, of course, there's a delay or the ship is late getting back or whatever. But 99% of the time, if you're cruising on the Breeze and you're a priority guest, you can arrive outside of your arrival time. Non-priority guests get here when you at the time you picked, in between that time frame, okay? Make sure you have your documentation. New policy. While you're waiting outside, you're going to have your paperwork and your documentation in your hand before you go into the terminal. We're trying to make sure and catch people before they get into the terminal that maybe forgot their documentation in their car. If you did, or you forgot your birth certificate at home, or you lost your passport, you're going to be okay, right? Because you listened to me and you emailed yourself a copy of your birth certificate. Now you can get into the terminal, you get on your cruise, and you're happy, right? Everybody 16 and older must have a government ID and a birth certificate or a passport. This is for U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens can also board the cruise with just their passport, right? U.S. citizens that are 15 and younger, birth certificate only. Perfectly fine. Your 16-year-old doesn't drive, okay? Go to the DMV, Department of Public Safety, Department of Motor Vehicles, get them an ID. Every state will issue a non-driving minor an ID. Don't have time to do that? Hopefully they have a school ID. Now, that's not hard and fast. 100% they're going to accept that. But I have seen them accept it. Your best bet is to go and get your minor child who doesn't drive and doesn't have a driver's license an ID, a state ID. Right? Oh, well, Anthony, what about enhanced driver's licenses? If you are from... I'm going to give you a second. Okay, I want you to get a pen. Or something to write with. Or open the notepad on your phone. There are only five states that have an enhanced driver's license, which functions much like a passport. Notice I said functions much like a passport. It proves your identity and your citizenship. Now that enhanced driver's license that is only available in 5 states will actually say enhanced driver's license. Okay? Those states are the following: Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Washington. Did you get that? Do I need to repeat it? Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Washington. If you are from those 5 states, then you can obtain an enhanced driver's license, and that is the only thing you need. If you are not from those 5 states and you did not get an enhanced driver's license, if you are from the state of Texas and you got that little gold star on it, that is not an enhanced driver's license. That is a real ID. And that is perfectly fine for airline travel. But that alone will not get you on a cruise ship. And it definitely is not going to get you on a cruise ship in Galveston by itself. Okay? So, covered that, right? Documentation. That's embarkation, right? When you get upstairs after you checked in, right, you're ready. You're like, oh, man, I listened to Anthony. I did everything that he said to do. We got into the terminal. We passed through security. We passed the drug dog. We didn't go to the naughty room. We didn't open up a cash account. We came up the escalator. Oh. There's a big room. Yes, there is. You're also going to see some backgrounds with the ship on the background. And you'll see a bunch of my buddies from Pixels on the ship asking you to come over and take a picture. Take a couple of minutes. Go stand in front of the background. Let them take a few pictures of you. They get credit for taking your picture, right? Okay, we're helping them out. You're not in a rush because we haven't started boarding yet, right? You have a couple of minutes. Take the picture, because then once you get on board, you're like, man, I wish we would have taken a picture in front of that background. They're not going to have it on the ship. That background is only available for them to take a picture of you in front of in the terminal. It's called an embarkation photo. You don't have to buy the photo, folks. But if later on you want to buy it, you're good, because you stopped, you took 2 minutes, and you let them take some pictures of you, and now it's in the computer. Just because they take it doesn't mean you got to buy it, okay? I know a lot of people that take pictures at every single background on a ship, and they only buy 3 or 4 pictures. But they took like 80, right? So do me a favor. When you get upstairs to the waiting area, stop for a couple of seconds. It literally doesn't take longer than about 2 minutes. Let them take a few pictures of you and then go on about your business. Go sit down in your chair. Now you're going to wait another 30 or 40 minutes, right? Okay? But what you've done is you've helped out the Pixels crew. Plus, you've given yourself an opportunity for a memory that you cannot get again once you get on the ship, right? If you do decide to buy it, great. If you don't, great. But you took it. You took the photo. Okay, so that's a memory that you have created that you can possibly have and take with you once you get off the ship if you want to. You don't have to. Just because you take a photo in the terminal in front of the background with the ship doesn't mean you got to buy it. Stop. Take a couple of minutes. Take the photos. Help out my Pixels people. And plus, because if not, you're going to end up sitting in your seat a little bit longer waiting to board the ship, right? Right. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of minutes to answer some questions for this video. Let's see. First question was, what line do you work at? Because I have faster to the fun. Randy, if you are boarding the Breeze or the Dream on a Saturday, a Monday, or a Sunday, you will see me, sir. I am upstairs in the waiting areas where you go after you've checked in. Once you've taken care of your business and you're ready to board the ship, you will go up to a waiting area, and that's where I'm at. Now, once we start boarding, there's going to be what we call directionals, and they control the traffic flow. You'll see a bunch of agents. Everybody's jumping up in line because we've already boarded our diamond and suites and platinum guests. Now it's time to board our faster to the fun. And everybody that's faster to the fun is going to stand up, and they're going to go get in line, and they're going to head to all of the agents that are standing there with phones. Right? When you hit that traffic controller, you say, hey, I want to go to Mr. Smiley Face's line. And they're going to send you to me. And then I'm going to grab your boarding pass, and I'm going to go, beep. I'm going to verify it's you and everybody in your party or everybody in your cabin. Because we board you by cabin. Not by who you're traveling with, but who's in your room. So if there's 36 of y'all, we know there's not 36 of y'all in one room, okay? Make sure that when you guys get up to get on the ship, when we start boarding, that you guys stay together in the same room. So if you're in the same room, go to the same line. You're going to come up, you're going to say, hey, Anthony, it's Randy Cass. I'm like, hey, what's up, Randy? I'm going to scan your boarding passes, make sure you're all online. Then I'm going to take my phone out, and I'm going to go, boop, and we're going to take a selfie, right? I'm going to give you a smiley face pin. And if you're subscribing to my YouTube channel, you're also going to get the new swaggy swag. Look at that. The new swaggy swag. There it is. They are bracelets. They say Mr. Smiley Face on one side. The other side, they say Official Fun Ambassador. Because that's what you are when you wear a smiley face pin or you wear the bracelet. You are now an Official Fun Ambassador. You are going onto this ship. People already know that you have seen me. You've interacted with me. And now you are going to continue the fun. Make sure that everybody has a fun time. So that's what you're going to do, Randy. You're going to go up. You're going to tell them, hey, I want to go to Anthony's line, or I want to go to Mr. Smiley Face's line. They're going to send you to me. We're going to handle our business. You're going to get on the ship. You're going to have fun. And you're going to be making sure everybody else has fun. Rebecca, will I be on the Dream May 12th to the 18th? I will not be on the Dream, but I will be working the terminal, so you will see me. Make sure you stop and say hello. Let me know you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, that you saw my videos. You'll get a smiley face pin and a new fancy bracelet. So you will see me in the terminal, Rebecca. Randy, you'll be on the Dream. Yep, you'll see me too. Dream and Breeze. Those are the two ships I work. I don't work the Jubilee, because my boss won't let me go. Because we have too much fun in the terminals, right? For Dream and Breeze. All right, so all that information is available on the replay. So if you missed it, you came in late, or you want to share it to other people, by all means, go ahead. Share it. Tell your friends about this. This is the first video. This is part 1. I'll be doing a whole bunch of other videos. I'm going to be trying to do one at least once a week for now, starting out, since we're just fledgling. Right now, I've got 348 subscribers. If you have a bunch of people that sail on Carnival out of Galveston, please share this YouTube channel. Ask them to come and hit subscribe. And then that way we can boost the numbers. We can get the message out to everybody. Right now it's 349. I'd love to hit 500 by the end of April. That would be awesome. Help a brother out. I'm helping you. You help me. You know what I'm saying? I scratch my back. You scratch your back. No, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? I'm helping you. Help me. Spread the word. Let them know. It's going to be a lot of good information here. There'll be times where I'll just be doing lives and I'll be answering questions. There'll be live Q&A sessions, okay? So, lots of information in this first one. It's been going on for 41 minutes. That's way too long. So, you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you click like. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. Follow my profile. Subscribe on the YouTube channel, please. And if you're on Facebook and it allows you to send stars, do your brother a favor. Send me some stars. I think they're like $1. That is less than what this drink cost. I guarantee you that, because this is from Japan. Okay? So, hope you guys have a great day. Today we boarded the Dream. This is how fast we are, really quick before you go. We boarded 3,000 passengers in 90 minutes today. There was only 4,500 passengers on board. We boarded 2/3 of all guests in 90 minutes today. That's how we do it here in Galveston. That's how we do it. Okay? So, thank you for watching. Make sure you play it back. Make sure you email yourself a copy of your birth certificate, regardless of how you travel. I don't care if you use a passport. I don't care if you use a birth certificate. Email yourself a copy of your birth certificate. Don't bring us a birth certificate that has feet on it, okay? Because we're not going to accept that. We think it's cute, but that's all it is. It's cute, okay? I'm not going to get you on the ship. Other than that, share my channel. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you. Thank you, everybody who watched this. Love you guys, and I'll look for you guys in the terminal. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go find me some dinner. Happy sailing.